most entrepreneurs come to us after they've invested some money in marketing, either having done some tactics themselves in-house or having paid somebody else, and not having achieved the results they wanted, which is unfortunately happening for a lot of the small businesses. And this is why I propose to you smart marketing services. And that is really everything thought strategically first and then implemented. Now, let me explain what I mean. Most businesses have a website and they think like, oh, okay, how do I optimize it better for SEO? How do I get more traffic in the website? How do I change the menu so it's more relevant? What text should I put here? What picture should I put here? And these are all valid questions. But in the end of the day, most businesses only have a website for just an online presence without having any benefits from that website. In other words, most websites don't generate any sales and any money. The other tactic that a lot of companies embark on right now, even though it's less relevant as before, is emails. And they understand that they need to work hard on building their list with emails and then to communicate with those people so that eventually people buy, which is true. And then they ask themselves, okay, so what's the subject line? What's the text? What picture should I put? How often should I send the emails? Which are, again, relevant questions, but that's not where the difference comes from, really. They just take a lot of time and a lot of thinking process without having a huge impact on the bottom line of the business. Then it's social media, and they think like, oh, okay, I'm posting on Facebook or on LinkedIn, or I'm on that platform. When should I post? Should I post in the morning, in the evening? How often? How much? How long is the text? What picture should I use? What should I post about? And again, they end up investing quite a bit of time themselves, or they pay somebody to invest their time. And they might get likes on Facebook or engagement, but still that doesn't transform into cash in the account. And they try PPC, Facebook ads or LinkedIn ads or Google AdWords. And whilst they achieve some clicks or even some sales, they still don't get the results that they expect. And that's because in most cases, there is no a coherent online marketing strategy. So all these tactics and many more, like doing a group or doing a blog or doing podcasts or whatever it is, they are thought in isolation. They're not put together into something that makes sense across the board. Now, some people think strategically and they have an online marketing strategy, but it's not linked properly to the business strategy. And some companies don't even have an updated business strategy, or they think they do, but it's not properly written and embarked across the board in the company. And in order for this to work, in order for us to be able to obtain results with our campaigns, and literally every dollar is invested to produce $2 in profit, we might need to adjust a bit the online marketing strategy. We might need to adjust the business strategy, or we might even think of adjusting the business model. And if you think about it, Sky TV, in this digital world, they have a digital department which has 100 people, and they are concerned about their business model. That obviously includes the interaction with people on Facebook and how they deliver their content, but it's much more thought and much more high level than just all these little tactics. Because the world is changing and the client is prepared to pay for different things in different ways and interact with brands and companies in different ways as before. So this is why it's crucial to start first with the business model and then go down. Now, when we come to building an online sales funnel or an online sales system, and this is really a system online which is meant to bring people from I don't know who you are, or I don't care about you, I've never heard of you, to wanting to buy from you, to wanting to do business with you. And that is obviously engineered, right? And when we build such system, we follow these exact 5 steps. So step number 1 is to identify your ideal client. and to make a profile of your ideal client with things they like, things they don't like, their challenges, what keeps them awake at night. You might have heard this before, but it's really very, very important, and you need to go through the right questions and write all of these things in detail on a piece of paper or in your notebook. So this is called designing your buyer's persona, or doing the customer's avatar. Once we know exactly who the client is, then we can design the customer's journey. And that is the click, click, click that we want the person to get on, so that they come towards purchase. They come as close as possible to buying from us. And this is really the blueprint of what we want them to do, of their customer's journey online. Once we have that, then we start using magnetic language, because it's not just enough to give value and provide solutions to their challenges and do content. We want to influence people to click where we want them to click. Basically, we want to buy the next click. In other words, with everything we do, we want to make sure that the person clicks on the next thing into the sales funnel, so that they get closer to the sale, to the purchase. And of course, we want to use the right words that influence the person to make the right decisions for them and for us as well. And then once we have all of these, then it makes sense to put it to work. And when I say to put it to work, is really to implement and to use technology, to use the various tools and put it up online. And once this is done, then it makes sense to turn what I call the success step on, which is really to get traffic into the sales funnel. So rather than being concerned with, okay, sending traffic to the website and then nothing happening, it's way better to have a system like this where you send traffic, because this system has an objective to attract people your way and also to convert those potential clients into existing clients. Now, the biggest challenge with this system, or with building an online sales presence and funnel, is that there are loads of people who can do it. But most people just only focus on these two, on the bottom area. So they build stuff online and they can do ads on whichever platform. So technically, there are lots of people who can do it. But the challenge is that these steps, the buyer's persona and the strategy, are the main parts, are the most important parts of your sales funnel. These require thinking, these require understanding your business, these require really understanding your product or service, and who is the person, the ideal person that wants that product or service. So that's the reason why most people don't have results. And I have to say, I've even seen award-winning marketing agents that only do these two things here, the implementation technically, which is done very well. But the reason why results don't come is because not all these steps are followed. And of course, the first step is the most important, and the next step is the second most important. And it's only a very limited number of people who can do those things very well, because they just require a lot of experience and business knowledge and business acumen and business understanding. So it's not really about pressing the button or doing the audience right on Facebook or the retargeting or whatever. It's really the thinking process that is the most important. And that's the reason why we get results, because every time we build something online, we follow these steps. And I bring my investment banking experience, I bring my 20 years of entrepreneurial experience. My partners also bring their 20 plus years of experience in business to build something that makes sense, which we think quite a bit about before we start doing it. And that's why people choose to work with us, and that's why we deliver results. Now, when you look at your online assets, most people think of their website. Oh, I've got to have a website because, hey, yeah, people need to see what I do and who we are, which is fine. But you've heard that you need to share content. So that's why you need to have a blog as well. And most recently, you probably heard that video is the most consumed content online. And it's going to be like very soon, more than even 80% of people will consume videos and will not read much. So that's why I suggest that you also have a YouTube channel and you produce videos. And those videos are also on YouTube as well as in your blog. So you incorporate them in your blog, so people have the option to choose either to watch the video or to read. Once that is done, then you can use Facebook or LinkedIn or any other social media platform to share those pieces of content. And of course, you send an email to your list as well with the same piece of content. And that's where we come. The most important part is the sales funnel, which can be very quick 3 steps, which is only delivering results in few industries right now, because most industries require more interaction with people, therefore a longer journey, therefore a longer sales funnel, which of course takes longer to build. And that's the reason why we offer you a full pack of services. So we can do the website for you. That is part of the customer's journey and not a standalone piece, just saying who you are and what you do. Blog with content, with relevant content. We can post for you on social media so that everything is up to date and people interact and engage with you, with your brand, with your name. Then videos as well to include in all your communication. Then we can build campaigns. That includes, of course, emails as well as ads on different platforms. And we can build proper sales funnels that perform, that really produce results. And this is an example of a very, very simple sales funnel where there are 3 steps. And this is an ad inviting people to a webinar, which is the lead magnet. And then right after the thank you page is a video. Now, that video used to work as a sales video, and it brought us quite a bit of sales, but it kind of stopped working. And the reason why that stopped working is because a lot of people are already using this tactic. So the more people use this tactic, the less efficient it becomes, because it just gets too widely used, and everybody's familiar with it. So that's why you want, after you've given the lead magnet, you want on that thank you page to have what I call a seduction video. And this is really a way for you to communicate and engage and connect, really connect as a whole, as a human to human with your potential client. Because once that connection is established and once they agree that they like you based on that video, then they will be more interested and keen in opening your emails, in clicking on your posts, on your videos, or whatever it is that you share. And then the sale magically happens. Now, as I said, this is a simple sales funnel. This is something more complex, and this is something even more complex. Choice is yours depending on your objectives and how fast you want to achieve them. And of course, the more money you want to make, the more impact you want to create, then the bigger and the more complex your sales funnel is. These are the tools that we use. Now, Facebook and whatever different platforms on social media, that's very easy. Then we use lead pages or other types of tools to create landing pages, and these are part of the sales funnel. So the sales funnel is really a collection of landing pages, one after the other. Then we use MailChimp for the clients who are kind of starting all this activity. And once we reach the point where MailChimp requires money, because that they only give a free version for a limited number of users, then we assess which tool to upgrade with. We use Infusionsoft, which is literally like a super racket. And we can do a lot of automation with Infusionsoft, a lot of emails based on behavior, and a lot of interaction just based on what people tell us based on their clicks that they want and like. That is a bit more expensive, of course, and it makes sense for certain businesses, not for everyone, or not definitely not at the beginning. Then it's Wistia. This is then we use Wistia, which is also an alternative for YouTube. Of course, we use a lot of YouTube, and that's a proper channel. But Wistia, we can hide some videos because we don't want all the videos to be seen every time. We have certain videos in certain sales funnels that are only available for that piece. We also have loads of stats, and we can connect it with Infusionsoft, so we get much more information from people. So there are different advantages of using Wistia versus YouTube, and its pros and cons, and of course a combination of both is nice. Then PayPal, if you want to do a quick way of getting paid online. There are many other options, which again depends on what you sell, on how you sell your customer, and how long the sales process is, and how easy it is to sell online your product or service. Then we discuss and we agree which one makes sense for you, if any. And Google Forms, it's also a free tool, which some people make sense to use just to collect information from potential clients. So appreciate you having watched this video, and I invite you to change the world together, because I believe the small businesses are the ones who are changing the world by the product or service that they put out there, because we care about our clients, our communities, and people around. So if you really want to get results with your marketing, if you want us to fix your marketing, then just get in touch and I'll be happy to speak to you. And if you, by the way, want to do it yourself, there are workshops and bootcamps where you can come and learn from me, and then you can do it yourself, or you can run it yourself with the current people that we use. It's just that to get better results from your marketing tactics at the moment. Again, thank you, and I'm looking forward to supporting you to become a smarter, bigger, better entrepreneur, and of course to make a bigger impact and increase your sales and profits.